This morning, I met with a technical co founder of a startup, and we talked about what I call the social media doom loop, which essentially goes like this. Step one, I want my company to survive, but I don't want to brag. Step two, I have to post on social media, but I don't want all that attention. And step three, if I brag and get a lot of attention, my company will survive, which takes us right back to step number one, where you want your company to survive, but you don't want to brag. And really, this is not even how it actually works. I actually think of this as a mental prison because you put on these lenses that make you think the world works a certain way. And that's not really the truth at all. Bragging and attention grabbing are not sustainable ways to grow a company anyway. So, I've got 4 tips for introverted technical founders at startups or even at bigger companies for how to bring the kind of attention that you want to your products and services. So, tip number one, tell stories about the work you've done and why things worked or failed. People want to hear stories. They love to hear, hey, what did you do right? What did you do wrong? What did you learn from? How did you get to where you are? And you just aren't used to being on that side of the equation. You're not used to being the one telling those stories, but I'm sure you enjoy hearing them. Step two, share your opinions and justify them. Nearly every introverted technical person I've ever met has strong opinions, and they justify them with a whole sequence of research and ideas. And honestly, the world wants to hear that. But don't think of it so much as like telling the world why you're brilliant or something like that. Just share your opinion and see if you can get a conversation going. Think of it as like testing the waters, okay? Tip number three, don't post to be famous. Post because you're curious. If you want to see how other people think about this problem, or whatever it is, a situation, an opinion, whatever, share it. See if you can get a conversation started. I guarantee you other people out there want to hear what you think because they're probably thinking, am I right about this? And tip number four, and this is really the most important tip or tactic that you can do when you're trying to succeed on social media, just record a one-sided conversation. Now, the way I think about this, or actually make it happen, is I will tell my clients, because I'm a ghostwriter and I help people, write stuff, take their ideas and put it in writing without them doing all the writing. But recording a one-sided conversation means either inviting me or someone you know who will listen to you to just sit on a Zoom call with you. And you just talk because you're talking to that person and you're sharing your thoughts and your ideas. And you see another face on the other side of that Zoom call. And they're nodding their head and they are listening and maybe even asking some probing questions or challenging questions, to see if you can articulate the other side of an argument. But really, that other person is just there to make you feel comfortable talking to a camera like I am right now, except I have no one on the other side to listen and nod and tell me I'm doing a good job. So, those are the 4 tips for introverted technical founders. Tell stories about what you've done and why it worked or failed. Share your opinions and justify them. We know you've got them. Don't post to be famous, post because you're curious, and record a one sided conversation. It's so much easier to just release something after you've talked to a person than to just sit in an empty room like I'm doing right now and just talk to an imaginary person on the other side of a screen. All right, let me know if you have other tips to get through introverted technical co founder social media doom loop stuff. Thanks.